In the top stories, Caribbean wave tsunami exercise drill set for Thursday. Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago in cross-border talks, and Utah woman accused of poisoning husband charged with murder. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Tuesday, 19th March 2024. I'm Scotticia Hendrickson. Nationally, as the annual Caribbean wave tsunami exercise drill is set for Thursday, Deputy Disaster Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ulrika Petty, gave details of this year's exercise during Fire Talk this morning.
This year we'll be exercising in the Midday to Saddlers area. Each year we choose a different area that would be vulnerable to a tsunami impact. So on Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon, who knows, we usually don't give the time. We will be in that area. So, you know, if you're in the area and you hear an alert, then that would signal that the exercise has started and that you should, start evacuating to your assembly points. The assembly points in Midday to Saddlers area are as follows. For Midday, it's the horse track or the surrounding area. Once you reach at that level, past the railway and you go up a bit further, then you are in the what is considered the safe zone. And I say what is considered the safe zone because things can change. We use worst case scenarios, of course, but worst case scenarios can be broken. The assembly point for persons, for example, is a green pasture above the community. When you go up the road, those living in Parsons would understand what I'm referring to. Yeah. And then we have in Saddlers, unfortunately, they do not have enough green space in Lynches for us to have an assembly point there. So what we say is go to your nearest assembly point. So in Saddlers, then it's the Saddlers playing field. So whichever one you're closest to is the one that you will be encouraged to evacuate to.
Right.
Such an event is important to test the protocols in place to disseminate warning messages of potential natural disasters. Deputy Disaster Coordinator Petty spoke of the chain of events that have taken place for this dissemination.
How the exercise goes is that the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, which is the focal point for the Caribbean and adjacent regions for tsunami warnings, they would send an exercise message to the tsunami warning focal point of each country. Our tsunami warning focal point is 911 as their 24/7 operation. So once 911 gets that initial exercise message, and of course the exercise message will start with exercise, so that persons know it's not a real event. Once they get that message, they will start contacting the relevant persons, and that would include the Tsunami National Contact, which is our director of NEMA. They will also contact the director of NDMD in Nevis, and then they would go down the line, the deputies, the commissioner, and so forth. NEMA, of course, responsibility would be to contact the Prime Minister and have the discussion with him in a real event. For the exercise, we don't usually take it that far. So once we get that message, that triggers the start of the exercise.
The Federation has been participating in the annual Caribbean wave exercise since 2017. A public consultation on the Vance W. Amory International Airport upgrade and expansion have raised questions relating to land acquisition, access to Lovers Beach for area fishermen, and the implication for Hurricane Hill. Representatives from Perez Engineering Construction and Consulting Services Limited fielded questions from attendees at the public consultation. Architect and airport planner Dan Consal said the expansion will not impact the existing drainage of the airport.
One of the main things that we have to be careful here is the hydraulic area, meaning the drainage of the airport. As we know, this area, all the hills that surround that area tribute the water down to the area of the airport because it's logical, it's where it goes. Currently, the drainage system works fine for what we have. So one of the things we are doing is a careful drainage project that considers That situation considers what we are expanding and where we're gonna solve, that these expansions do not impact all that system. It means that we try to avoid, as I said at the beginning, we try to avoid the management water system that exists between Nesbitt and the airport. There is a big system there that controls all the flow of water coming down from the hills. And there is a wetland in between the airport and that system that we try to respect as much as we can, not intruding into this wetland system area.
He responded to a question on whether nearby residents would be affected.
We have to provide, with the project, we have to provide something that the international organization called use of land, which means something that you say. Can this house have a mango tree that's, you know, how many feet tall? That kind of regulation, or a tower or a water tank that will be an obstruction to the airport. So we try to respect all these properties and their possibilities, but they will have to have some kind of regulation in some aspects. Basically, when they do not interfere with the aviation operation, with the surfaces that we have to preserve for the operation of the aircraft. So we're trying to be as thorough as possible in this analysis, including the environmental, to not affect these islands in any level that it cannot handle.
The Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Special Advisor to the Nevis Island Administration on this project, was present at the public consultation, told the attendees that an environmental impact assessment is pending, which would provide more details about the project. Jeffers spoke on efforts made by the NIA to secure funding for the project.
Some time ago, I believe it was about 2 years ago, it was disclosed to the Nevisian public that we were in discussions with Patrick Drahi in terms of his partnership with the Nevis Island Administration, and we are familiar with public-private partnership. You've heard that being mentioned throughout the world. If an institution such as the government cannot find the funding for a project, they partner with someone. That was an MOU, which is not a binding agreement, but at least he has shown interest in financing the project to help the Nevis Island Administration to get to where it wants to get to. There are other areas that we are looking at, and of course in subsequent conversation we can always divulge more. But in terms of what we are seeking to spend on that project is somewhere between 25 to 30 million US dollars to accomplish what we are hoping to accomplish. But more details on that, of course, we're not quite there yet with all of the details, and that will be known to the general public as we go.
The public consultation on the Vance W. Amory International Airport upgrade and expansion was held on Thursday, March 14, 2024, at the Franklin Brown Community Center in Nevis. The 67th anniversary of the Basil Henderson Aquatic Sports is slated for Easter Monday, April 1st, and will be held at the St. Kitts Ferry Terminal. The event include those of former years, such as swimming races, ham pole, iron pole, boat racing, and other sporting and cultural activities. The event will also feature a boxing exhibition, which will take center stage in the afternoon. There will also be performances from cultural groups such as mummies and pole ribbon platters. According to the event coordinator Winston Nisbet, this yearly event helps to create increased cultural awareness, most specifically among the youth.